Number 13. It says, let P be a figure as a triangle, and let Q be a figure as a polygon. Write the converse, Q implies P in words, then decide whether it's true or false. So here's our P, here's our Q. Q implies P is if Q, then P. So we just fill in the blanks, basically. If a figure is a polygon, if a figure is a polygon, then it is a triangle. It is a triangle. Okay, so there's the converse. Q implies P. Q implies P. And if a figure is a polygon, then it is a triangle is false, because just because it's a polygon, it could be all sorts of other types of figures. Now, it could be a square, a rectangle. But anyways, you want to go to section 2.1 to remind yourself and take some notes about conditional, converse, inverse, and contrapositive, or dig up some of the cheat sheets we had on that. Take a look at that stuff. Next, 4.1. In section 4.1, you'll find about this, vectors and their component forms. Now see here, if you notice, the arrow is pointing at the C. So the name of this vector is BC, and it looks kind of like a ray. Its component form, it goes forward and down. The forward part is the X, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the positive direction, and down 2, that's 2 in the negative Y direction. And actually, we write them in these kind of pointy things here, or sometimes I think they might write them like this or something like that, although this I think is a little more correct for a vector. Just something to differentiate from a pair of points. Or a point, sorry, pair of coordinates for a point. Alright, 4.1, you should also have lots of notes about this in your chapter 4 notes. Alright, next, number 15. We're supposed to find the measure of BDC. Well, we know that these two angles add up to 90 degrees. Okay, so we have to figure that negative 3x plus 6 plus, and here's where I think it's useful to add in some parentheses here, negative 6x minus 42 equals 90. So when I open up the parentheses, negative 3x plus 6 minus 6x minus 42 is 90. We'll combine like terms. 6 and negative 42 gives us negative 36. And negative 6x and negative 3x gives us negative 9x equals 90. We'll add 36 to both sides, and that gives us negative 9x equals 126. And then we're going to divide by negative 9 on both sides. And we get x equals 126 divided by 9. That is 136. That's 14. Negative 14. And then, well, we don't want to find out what x is. We want to find out the measure of BDC. So we have to go back here, and BDC is negative 3x plus 6. So that's negative 3 times negative 14, our value for x, plus 6. Negative 3 times negative 14 is, let's see, 30, 42. And negative times a negative is a positive. Plus 6 is 48 degrees. 48 degrees. Now remember, the thing that's going to trip you up if you're not careful is you'll solve for x and start looking for that in your multiple choices, and you'll probably find it there because they're trying to trick you. But remember, you're not supposed to find x, you're supposed to find the measure of the angle, so you have to go back. Alright, I think that's a good place to stop.